Welcome to tonight's finals. Now, we've played all season and all playoffs to get here, and I am excited. I'm Sarosims, and I'm joined by Mr. Bepic, and tonight we have the Redbirds Esports against the Grand Canyon University, and it's looking to be an exciting match. Now, the Redbirds, they're undefeated so far, and Grand Canyon, well, they seem to be a little bit of a Titan killer, so are they up for the challenge once more? And so, Mr. Bepic, what are your thoughts on the series ahead of us tonight?
Well, hopefully it is the perfect way to end what has been a great Elite League season here at GG Leagues. GCU, they beat San Jose State last week, who were undefeated up until that point. So you're right, they could be that Titan killer team that ends up sweeping through this single elimination bracket and taking home the trophy.
Yeah, and taking home the trophy is what it's all about. But on top of the trophy, there is some prize money up for grabs as well. Now, it is divided based on league size, so the exact amount is up for determination right now. But still, that's money in their pockets if they can win it. And I know personally, I would want to win it. So I'm expecting both these teams to hit the pitch with like pedal to the metal, full force, boost going, and just like that, we are into game one here with Redbirds being on the blue side and Grand Canyon being on orange.
Already, some early pressure, flash in off that back wall, set up for Avo, and it's an early goal for Redbird Esports.
Yeah, just an early goal, and you just saw that the GCU player wasn't quite able to control the ball coming off the ceiling, and it provided ample and bountiful opportunity there for Redbirds. But it's only 12 seconds in, so there's plenty of time left in this game one here to play it out. And this is a best of 7 series, so if they drop the game, it's not the worst. But no team ever wants to drop the first game in the finals.
First goal has been dropped, and Avo wants to make it 2, but is bumped well off that play. And now C. Petty ended that ball by Kaimana through flash off that back wall, and a flurry of cars going past the rock, but Central not phased. Still plenty of boost in the tank. Almost got a clip, but was denied by the defense.
Yeah, beautiful opportunity out there by Central, but now it's Redbirds trying to get a transition attack. Flash is up there as well, but he basically just wins 50-50, so Central's coming off the wall, has a bit of boost, goes for the flip reset, not quite the touch needed, and so Kamana keeps this one high off the wall, puts it down for the drive, great pass, great shot, but the flash is there. Now Central with the challenge, but it goes over towards Flash. Flash trying to transition out, it's in the corner, pops out. Derive is there, and it's a bit of a loose ball, but Central should collect this one. Has room to work with, and Avo makes the initial save, but can't stop the momentum. And so Central ties it up.
That was an Avo on very little boost, and Central, I'm sure, knew that with how much he was sitting back on the defense there. What an aerial that was from a Central. The dude loves to play in the air. Apparently, that is 3 times now they've elected to go for the solo play up in the skies, and that one very much fruitful. A great answer back by GCU.
Yes. So, ties scored at 1 apiece now. Now it's basically back to that even game state now that the early game jitters, I want to say, have worn off, we'll say. But great opportunity, and Avo scores another go-ahead goal just like that.
Good placement from Avo. Flash, of course, the beat in the corner. It got 2 defenders to creep out, and Avo there to punish on that miscommunication. Solid work from Redbird. The answer to the answer, and the ebb and flow of this best of 7 is already in full force.
Yep, so we're not even 2 minutes in with 3 goals. I'm expecting the game to settle down a little bit, but not anytime soon. As Flash, he comes out, puts it off the wall, picks up his own play. It's on the near post. It's high off the ceiling. It's going to come down to someone. Avo's once more there, but Mana drops down for the save. Now Petty collects this ball. Good turn, but Derive is there with the early aerial. Gets down. Avo's there as well. Gets over Central. Has a little bit of room to work with. Now just needs to get past Kamana, but Kamana is there. Flashes up for the save and puts it back towards the corner. So a lot of transition plays coming out from both these teams right now.
Yep, and here's another one. Transition down, but I'm kind of all alone with this ball. A heavy touch. Avo was able to move forward and take a 50, but unfortunately the ball still stays in the hands of GCU. trying to get that equalizer once more. A couple touches off the back wall, interfered with Derive's ability to shoot off that off the back of the blue end, and Taimana going to go through that same lane of offense. Could not do it. The defense holding strong for now for Redbird. They will look to add one more to their goal tally.
Yeah, so Derive picks this one up around center field, carries it into the corner off the challenge by Avo. Sepetti's looking for it. He bumps it forward, gets it over Sendril. Sendril's there to help guide it into the corner, but Sepetti, I think, almost saved that one himself there, trying to set up a teammate, but it doesn't matter. Avo's there as well. It doesn't quite find the flip touch needed, and oh, that was a dangerous ball off the crossbar, and Redbird's looking to strike again with the pressure that they're mounting up here.
That miss not going to help alleviate any of that pressure, but fortunately Sendril right there for experience. That was much needed because Redbird seems to be winning every single challenge, and every touch of theirs headed towards a teammate or towards a defender. And so far, GCU keeping this manageable. That's good news for them, but in transition, able to do anything right there. I think Redbird starting to get a little bit keen to how much Sendril likes to solo play or slow play headed down the field.
Yeah, and the tempo of this game is very quick. It's very furious. This ball, it doesn't seem to want to stay still, as both these teams, they have had a lot of strong clears, but it's Redbirds with the offensive pressure so far. GCU has had a little bit, but it's going to be Flash knocking into the corner for Avo. Avo transitions out, and we're into the last 50 seconds here, but Derive with the midfield challenge keeps it neutral, but Flash is there for follow, puts it high. Sepetti there with the opportunity, but it's high off the backboard. Avo's there, puts it high. Can they find the follow-up? And no, everybody's rotated out.
Crucial 30 seconds here. Want to start the best of 7 on the right foot, and so far Redbird have done that, evading GCU offensives left and right, and Avo, they're no different. Finds the clear, but no contact with a teammate instead. Rod gets into the middle of that passing lane, and now Sendril the same, but right there will boom it down the field and waste time, force GCU into a potential 0-second scoring opportunity to arrive at the back wall. Where's the follow-up? Not there. Flash, wing it out. Taimana keeps the ball up in the corner. Avo should spike it down. They will. But in the center of the field, they'll commit forced out. Derive just caught it and will be demoed. That ball touches the ground. Redbird taking game 1.
Yeah, Redbird's taking game 1 there off a early game opportunity there, but they were able to get the go-ahead goal later on anyways. But it feels like the Redbird Esports, they've spread their wings early, and they definitely seem to be feeling themselves. They have, that's mental math, 9 shots on net right now, and that's definitely a fair amount of offensive pressure to get in game 1. And I definitely think GCU, they haven't quite found their wheels so far in this game 1, though they did have some promising opportunities.
They did. They were close there. They just didn't have near the amount of possession as Redbird did. And I think, honestly, that was the difference, because both offenses looked as potent as one another, but GCU outpossessed, and they were kept pinned back for a large part of that game. So they'll have to focus a bit more on transitional play if they don't get more time on the ball in that blue end. But for now, a solid start for both sides. I think they've both put their best feet forward here in the grand finals.
Yeah, as you said, a solid start. And even if you lose game 1, having that solid start feels good. It means that you're at least competitive. You aren't plagued by too many nerves, because this is the finals. Mm-hmm. There will be nerves, because as much as we praise these teams, these players, at the end of the day, they're still human. And with that human element can come some faults and some mistakes. But with that said, we are into game 2 right now, and it's already GCU with the opportunity to strike first, but Flash picks that one up, but Commanda's there off near backboard wall, and it's just going to float harmlessly towards the center field right now.
Big win, though, for Derive, keeping GCU in the offensive end. Great pass, but shot blocked by Flash. Derive's bumped clean the next week, but a miss will avert this opportunity to score. No,
okay, there it is.
Avo right there for the rebound. A little hairy, but Redbird on the board first.
Yeah, the whip by Flash almost worked out there. But either way, Avo making sure he had the goal secured there. Once more, that's Redbirds going up game 2. They have the first goal. They haven't played from behind yet, so they look extremely comfortable from ahead. And Avo trying to find a they flip reset off the ceiling, doesn't quite find it, and it almost turned against him, but it is going to be GCU with defensive pressure right now. Avo with the clear, nice strong, but Command picks it up around center field. Flash is there, sends it a little bit forward, but Derive picks it up in the corner. Now Sapetti's going to have to collect this one, but the ball gets ahead of him, so he's going to have to corral it off the backboard, looking for a bit of a team ground pinch, but doesn't really amount to much there. And once more, it feels like GCU is starting to gain momentum.
Definitely are, but Redbird Esports, great job of getting rid of the momentum almost immediately. Clear found there, and now Avo had a chance to shoot on an open net, but couldn't get power behind it. A slight misread, and the lead to GCU with some more time on the ball. Come on off that side wall. Derives center or across the box. Central didn't want to commit and too overzealous in the offensive end, but a nice dunk and boost pickup should extend this GCU pressure, which is looking threatening. Team bump there on the attempted passing play. Not going to help their efforts to tie us up, though.
Yeah, it seemed a little bit like a miscommunication or a double commit there, but either way, they're still maintaining the offensive pressure so far, as Flash can't get this one out. Avo has to come up, step up, drive up, and finally gets it out of their defensive end, but just like that, GCU's back on the transition play, puts it into the corner, but Derive can't quite find the follow-up there, so the Redbird team, they're able to pick it up on the defense, finally get some breathing room, and get to pick up some boost, because they were getting boost started for a little bit, and that's a dangerous shot off the bottom of the crossbar. Avo is there, can't quite touch it down either. The dunk just not happening. And just like that, Redbirds find the offensive opportunity off of the slim margin play there. But now Avo keeps it in the defensive end. Command is up for it, but Petty beat him there. Sendro is able to get that one touched away. Now Flash, he puts it up for Avo. Avo does get the first touch, but Commando reads it right, gets in the right place. Now Sendro with a good redirect here. It's going to be tough, and Petty can't quite knock it away. So that's one apiece.
Misread there from Sapetty, and you got to think about on the Redbird offensive end, they fired several shots off the crossbar that really should have been goals, and then they're punished for it with a quick transition from GCU. So great work taking the cards that you're dealt if you're GCU and turning it into something sustainable. Now all tied up, 2 minutes to play, and if GCU can score another, we might find ourselves in a tied-up series.
Yeah, just might. Now, what better series for a finals than one that is competitive, goes back and forth? Now, whether it goes to Game 7 is still up for debate right now. But Sapetty with a good shot. He puts on the near post, though, so not quite the open net that he was hoping for. And Commander not quite reading that one, leaving up for his teammate to get, but tries to challenge there, but Avo gets past him there. Derive now sets it up field. Petty on the wall, puts it down towards midfield. Flash with a shot. It's going to get picked up. Bit of a double commit there. A bit of a danger zone here, but Commander is there to follow through. And now Derive coming off the wall, but good touch by Sapetty, and this is going to be a clean goal for Redbirds.
Redbird fans gonna be happy that the ball was headed towards the ground with a little bit of weak pace behind it, so their players couldn't fire it into the crossbar. Avo, all he had to do was collect it and put it towards the goal. It's all he did, and Redbird finally capitalizing on some of the open looks they've gotten in this game number 2. A 2-1 lead. We find ourselves in a similar position as in game 1 with the shots still favoring Redbird, but GCU keeping themselves in a manageable spot.
Yeah, right now it feels like GCU just doesn't have their defense quite put together like they did last week against San Jose, because last week they were saving the vast majority of these shots, and today they're just full of holes. And once more we see Redbirds with the offensive pressure. Avo's up for it, he tips it high. Petty isn't going to follow through, but he is going to get the next touch there. Bit of a floater towards the net, forces Central to come up for it. Avo redirects it off the backboard, tries to get a bump in front of the net, but it's just going to bounce down harmlessly. Central not quite able to get the clear past Avo, and once more, Redbirds, they're suffocating Grand Canyon in their own end now.
Yep, Grand Canyon can't find a clean escape route at the moment, despite misses, despite miscommunications, and despite that team pinch towards net. No third goal, and now in transition, a chance for rebound there. Kaimana forcing 2 up, but Avo stoic on the goal line as ever, getting up, getting that clear central. The shot, it's off the back wall. They can't double it, and Redbird double their series lead.
Yeah, Redbird may have doubled their series lead, but that game was a lot more suspicious, we'll say, because it seems like Grand Canyon, they were the ones with the pressure, with the momentum, with the opportunities there. And looking at the scoreboard, it feels a little bit misleading there, with only 3 shots on net by Grand Canyon compared to the 12 by the Redbirds. It definitely didn't feel that one-sided in terms of offense, but then again, the Redbirds did find the crossbar quite a few times.
Well, I think you're thinking of transitions, because GCU, when they finally found a way to escape after Redbird had locked them in their defensive end, then they seemed deadly and with the ability to barrage that blue net. But there were several stints where it was about a minute, honestly, is what it felt like. Redbird just playing around corners and then at the net and then back to the corners in that sidewall, and then they put some more pressure on. And I think that really helped them hold on to their lead because it pigeonholed GCU. And we saw in the last game what GCU can do in transition. They weren't allowed too many of those looks in this game too. And if that continues, they're going to have to find some other form of offense to win this series.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. And I think one thing that GCU may have to look at is putting a man on Avo, because Avo is getting so many follow-up plays, too many great opportunities. He definitely seems to be the point man for the Redbird team right now. But we can see how they adapt here in this game 3, because we're in game 3 right now, 10 seconds in. It's 2-0 series lead for Redbirds and Grand Canyon. They can't afford to drop many more. Well, they can only afford to drop 1 more, because after that, it's match point.
That it is. So to start off, the scoring would be important to their goal of taking a game sooner rather than later. That double commit not going to help, but fortunately Flash has tossed the ball down to the field where Central was, and Central returned to sender in the way of a Flash. So, an offensive opportunity here for Redbird. That 50 will keep it as such. Off the back wall, it's undefended. Derive is up, down to Flash. Look for that back wall again, but this time there's an orange car there to turn it out to the side, and GCU can look to mount an escape, but that ball right to Avo. That is not the player you want to see collecting the ball if you're a GCU fan.
Yeah, and then even when GCU gets a touch on it, it somehow finds its way right back to Avo's bumper. But a good aerial challenge there coming out of GCU. Stalls out the Redbirds play there for a moment, but that's all it was a moment. But now they have a chance to transition. Kamana puts it into that back left corner. It's going to go to Flash, who tries to clear it. Central's up for it. Sends it back the other way. It's going to be a bit off the backboard, but Flash is there for it. Derives up next. Now Avo doesn't quite get the read there, so Sapetti has to step out of net to clear that one. And that was the third man too, so if he missed it, it was definitely a dangerous area there that could occur. But it is going to be Redbirds once more with possession.
Fight for the ball at the moment. GCU wasn't content with giving away possession to Redbird. That miss fortunately covered up by Kaimana right there. Cat-like reflexes in the center third, and then a couple of challenges at least slowed down. Didn't allow Redbird the immediate escape out of their half. And Avo redirects to the corner. Central controls it. Bit of back and forth on either side with real pressure right now, and that is a win for GCU considering how game 2 went. And then they almost found the opener right there with a couple of fakes. Unfortunately, Redbird and their backline defense just good enough to keep us tied up at 0.
Yeah, good team play coming out of Grand Canyon here, though they do get demoed, so your guy couldn't quite follow through there. Well, he was demoed, but either way, that was a good team play coming out of Grand Canyon, and it opened up the net. So if they get more of these team passes, team shots, I think they could start poking holes into Redbirds. They can't be doing solo efforts right now, but Derive steps up for the challenge. It's going to go over to the center field where Avo just sends a booming clear back to the left corner there. Central up on the wall, off the ceiling, but it goes harmlessly towards Flash. Petty with a good redirect, a little bit high though. That ball comes down, but the Rive is there for the huge save. Man is racing towards that ball, but Petty is able to get back in time. And oh, that was a dangerous look there by the Redbirds.
It was. I'm impressed that GCU and their defense were able to stand tall despite two blue cars hurtling at the ball right there, and it's not a slow shot. Speaking of, though, that one a bit on the slower side is they didn't have the boost to get any pace behind it. Now Durai wants to dunk onto Avo, but the backwards blue Fennec finds the clear, and then a touch to the back wall. Where's the follow-up? Sepeti a miss. Flash right back to it. No drop down either, and Avo beaten to race to the blue back line here. Looks like Flash pulled it up to his namesake and takes the ball away for a hungry GCU, still tied now entering the final minute.
Yeah, just over that final minute mark, time is ticking down. And this game has been even so far. Definitely the most even game we've seen. I'm here for it. It means this series is getting more competitive as we go along. Now, Sendro without boost can't quite do much there, but Derive is coming up with speed, but stalls out that challenge. Petty forces that one through. It's high off the backboard. Ooh, dangerous opportunity there, but Sendro does get the clear. It's on target, so it gets picked up by Petty for the clear. This one's up for Derive, but Petty's once more there. And it feels like I'm saying Petty way too much right now, but able with a good shot. Petty looking for the bump, but it doesn't matter because that was open net for Ava.
Now, Kamana, oh, ill-advised midfield boost grab. He didn't grab the boost, he just went for it. I'm not sure what happened there, if he thought there was a defender still behind him or what, but either way, a bit of a brain fart there at a crucial moment, because now a 1-0 lead, under 30 seconds left to play, and Redbird could force GCU to have to reverse sweep. This is a good start with that kickoff win.
Yes, and you just look at that timer right now, it's eclipsing the 15-second mark. It's very, very dire straits now, but luckily it's only a 1-goal difference, so anything can happen as now GCU has an opportunity to come out of their zone. But a quick turnaround by Flash, and that's probably going to cut it. Yeah, it ended the hopes there for GCU of picking up this game 3, which means that Redbird Esports, with 3 quick games, they're on to match point and 1 win away from securing the victory in the finals.
They did it off the back of just 3 shots in that game. It was a true fight for possession right there, as neither side could establish themselves in the opponent end. And that is an improvement for GCU with regards to the possession numbers on Redbird's side, but you can't win games most of the time just posting 1 shot of your own. GCU going to have to figure out a way to play more offense. I mean, it sounds simple, but with how Redbird have been defending that center line on the field, GCU have a very, very difficult puzzle they need to solve.
Yes, and it's going to come down to start throwing things at it and see what sticks. Now, they did have some good opportunities there where they had some passing plays that looked dangerous, but ultimately they didn't quite have their shooting range down. So even though they had the opportunities, their shots were either a little wide, a little high, not quite on target that they needed. Because I believe that the 1 shot that they had on target was off of a clear attempt, so a very long shot. It was a little bit weak and easily picked up. So that aside, we are into game 4. We are in a match point here for the Redbirds. And now Grand Canyons, if they want to stay in this, they do have to start their reverse sweep right here, right now. Otherwise, they go home.
Avo, big read there on the back wall. Leads to a touch to the center line by Sepeti, forcing a miss out of Central. But Amana will be there to cover up his teammates' miss. Flash on minimal boost. Does win that first ball, and despite the smoke and mirrors, Avo going to find a clear out. Sepeti to Flash, wanted the dunk on the Derive, couldn't get it, but Redbird still looking deadly as ever in that offensive end when they are allowed time to play over there.
Yeah, so Sepeti just puts this one over to the side there. It's an awkward bounce between 2 of the GCU members, and now Sepeti doesn't quite get the read, a little bit too far. But it was still a good look there, and now Derive with a demo on the Flash, sets this one up for Kamana. But he gets stuffed by Avo, who puts it over to Sepeti in that back left corner. Now Avo just with a follow-up touch. Flash tries to get this one out, but he gets beat in the air. But Sepeti should have gotten a better touch, but no, this is going to be a bit of a dangerous look. Avo comes off the backboard for it. Sendral's there and waiting. It's going to bounce in front of the net, but Flash stayed back, stayed safe, and now Commander not finding the redirect over Petty. So Petty now has a chance to clear this one, and it's going to be an attack from Redbirds now.
That was a good up by Kaimana. Didn't have much boost, but still was able to push the ball into the corner out of danger temporarily. Followed it up with an even nicer one. Evo, though, covering that midfield line nicely. Tried to bump Sendril, but couldn't make contact. So, the latter making a big save. Sapetti center for Evo, but no shot will ring out as the ball was well too high and wide to be considered a ball on target. So a chance to break out of their zone. GCU will take advantage of it. Not for long, though. Right back to it. Shots just short of being on target. At least Flash credited for a shot that time around. Still, no goal just yet.
Yeah, no goal just yet, but it seems like Redbirds, they are definitely smothering the life out of GCU right now. Because it feels like GCU, whenever they've had a chance to get out of their zone, it's just been Redbirds already there, just taking that opportunity away. And we already see the Redbirds once more in the offensive end, pressuring off this backboard. Flash, oh, he puts just wide on that far post. They may want that one back, but now Commander is definitely going to get this one past midfield. But Evo already collects that one, puts it high for a teammate, but the revive is there. Flash next, over to Commander, who doesn't get the best read, but still disrupts the play. But Petty's there, he puts it on net. Oh, a little bit low, so Sendril picks it up. Flash for the next touch. Commander into the back right corner. Looking transition, has some boost to work with. Doesn't get a great touch, but it's okay. Sendril is there, follows through. And now Sapetti trying to make something happen. Beats one attacker, but not two. Sendril with a shot on net, able to save. Now Avo is able to get past one, has room to work with. Doesn't get it past two there, but Flash is able to follow through, keeps that momentum going. And still a scoreless game 4 right now.
Sendril wants to break that. No can do. Back wall again, closed for business on the side of Redbird Esports, and an immediate clear follow. This is why GCU can't rack up those shot numbers, because every time they enter the blue end, it feels like 10 seconds later, there's an immediate exit. And it's because of plays like that. Great teamwork. Evo, though, can't make the second touch. Flash, his abilities required on the back wall, and they will pay dividends. Kaimana, drop down, and it's right to Evo for the aforementioned immediate clear from Redbird, and faked out to Rive right there. Shot, and the lead for Redbird Esports.
Yeah, it's the lead for Redbirds. Sapetti with a good read here. Tucks that one just on the crossbar, and two members of GCU were caught looking there. And it feels like GCU, they've not been able to get the right reads off this ball sometimes, and they've been left looking like we just saw.
All the games so far have been one-goal games, and we'll see if this was any difference. We could see a GCU side throw everything at the net as their chances of winning the GGLeagues Elite League Championship starting to dwindle. Sapetti wanted to put it more and more out of reach, but was denied by Derive. Pass, center blocked by Evo. Great read there. Another one required. Evo right there for the epic save. That was crucial to the hopes of Redbird.
Yeah, so Derive beats the challenges there, has it in that back left corner, puts it high, Sendril's up for it, but gets beat by the Flash. Now that wasn't dust, I don't know what else was, but it doesn't really matter because there's 18 seconds left on the clock. And GCU, they still haven't gone out of their end right now. They need something now if they want to stay in this series. But I think the Redbirds Esports, they're going to do it. They have pressure, they have momentum. They're in the offensive end, but now Sendril with a dying opportunity here to get it out. But the clock strikes one. Is it a Cinderella story or is it heartbreak? And oh, the ball is still up here. It bounces off the side wall here. Both teams are racing for it. One trying to spike it, the other trying to lift it. And now Commander in that back corner there, but the ball does touch the ground, and that's going to be Redbird Esports picking up the championship, the league win in a sweeping fashion. And yeah, it was just a great series by Redbird Esports.
And well, a great series by both teams. Redbird, though, found a way to control it from start to finish in tight affairs. Sometimes they outshot GCU by a wide margin. Other times it was fairly close, 6-2 right there. They shut down the offensive GCU and are your Elite League champions. Congratulations to Redbird. What a run of theirs, 10-0 on the season. If that isn't the record of a champion, Cyro, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I don't know what is either. I mean, it could be 9-1 if GCU won it, but alas, they were not up to the task of beating another undefeated team. They had a good showing for themselves. They were still
Yes.
competitive, still had opportunities, but at the end of the day, they just couldn't generate the offense. And the Redbird Esports, they definitely pecked away at the Grand Canyon team. They found their opportunities, they found the goals, and as you said, it was a one goal game for every game this
Mhm.
series. And that's not something you normally see. Usually a team starts getting blown out as the series progresses. But no, both these teams, they stayed in it until the very dying seconds of every game.
Yes. And speaking of the dying seconds, that was the final series of the Elite Leagues. What a ride it has been, Cyro. You and I have been here from the beginning. We've seen the rise and fall of many teams here. Congratulations again to Redbird, and we're going to say goodbye for now. Cyro, thanks for casting with me. Storm Warrior, our producer, pushing the buttons in the background. Thank you to him and everyone else that contributed to this wonderful production here at GG Leagues. Make sure you follow the channel and, of course, on Twitter, all of that fun stuff so you stay up to date with whatever is going on. But for now, we say goodbye, and we'll see you next time.